Hi, this is Visitor's Book and I'm Maija, your host. In this program, we're going to be meeting with diplomats and foreigners who are here in Pakistan, and we're going to find out what they really think about the country. Let's go. So today we're meeting with Agnes Pompos, the head of missions relations at Gerrys Visa. So let's go find her. Hi Agnes.
Hi Maija, good to see you. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Welcome to Gerrys Visa.
Thank you. Thanks. So, how long have you been in Pakistan now?
It has been a bit more than 4 years now.
Oh wow, that's quite a long time. How did you first end up coming here?
I've always been interested in South Asia, politics, history, culture, anything and everything really. So I used to work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Hungary.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity to come here for a diplomatic training in 2015. So that was my first adventure here in Pakistan.
Really? So how did that happen? Like you found out there's an opportunity in Pakistan and you were like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Like that sounds quite unusual.
Yeah, so I was working at the Asia Pacific department at the ministry. I was actually handling most of the South Asian countries. And so I was always the first to get to know about opportunities. And the Pakistani government actually is very kind to host diplomats from various countries every year. So one day we got the opportunity and I immediately jumped on it.
Yeah. And so what was that experience like coming here for the first time? What did you think about the country before? And
it was amazing, truly. The training was very beneficial. I had colleagues from I think 20 countries, so from Africa to Asia to Europe, from Latin America as well. So that was great.
Okay, that's really great. And what was the training all about? Like how long did you stay? And
I was here for 6 weeks. We were going through basically a training for young diplomats. So they covered a lot of topics from, I don't know, international law to Pakistani topics, Pakistan-specific topics, economics of the country, culture, history. So it was very nice. It was a great experience.
Amazing. And so that was back in 2015, right? So the situation was quite different then. How would you say, like, maybe security-wise, how has the situation changed over the years?
Security has improved a lot, actually. So especially in the past, I would say 2-3 years, things have gotten dramatically better, which is a very good thing. I see a lot of people opening up more. A lot more people travel here. There are a lot more tourists, a lot more interest as well. Yeah. So I think it's gotten a lot better for sure.
Okay. So after that first visit, did you kind of feel like, okay, I definitely want to return to Pakistan, or like how did you end up back here then?
I was hopeful that I would get posted one day, and I actually didn't have to wait too long because on the 25th September, I remember the date very well because it's my mom's birthday actually. Oh. I arrived to this country as on my first official posting.
Amazing. So what was that? Then you ended up working for the Hungarian embassy here.
Yeah, so I was posted as the deputy head of mission of the Hungarian embassy, correct.
Okay. How was that experience? How long did you work there for?
I was in this position for about 2.5 years, and it was truly amazing. I grew a lot professionally. I made a lot of friends here. And truly I cannot say a bad thing about it. I have amazing memories from that time.
But yeah, so what did your work focus on mostly? Like what did you end up doing here at the embassy?
A lot of things actually. As a deputy head of mission, I was exposed to a lot of different topics and themes. And I think this is why I really enjoyed my work for the most part. I handled media to some extent. I was in cultural affairs. I was looking at politics. I was looking at human rights as well. A little bit of administration here and there whenever necessary, and of course some consular work as well.
Yeah, wow, that sounds really interesting. And how are like the relations between Pakistan and Hungary?
Excellent, very friendly, there are no issues. The two countries support each other on the international forums as well. And we also have the largest Hungarian company operating in Pakistan, which is MOL Oil and Gas.
Okay, and any particular areas that Hungary focuses on in particular? here in Pakistan?
Yes, economic relations because of mall, of course.
Yeah.
As well as water. Water is something that we're very good at, Hungarians. The Hungarian president actually hosted a huge international water conference recently.
Oh wow. But yeah, maybe hopefully slowly people will start to get to know more.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so that actually leads me to the second topic I wanted to discuss with you, which is your work here at Gerrys. What does the company actually do for those who don't know?
So Gerrys Visa facilitates visa applications as well as attestation applications. So our main focus is to assist diplomatic missions with their work, making it easier for them. We understand that decision taking is the most important part of a consulate's and a consul's work. Therefore, if we can help them to take away their energy from collecting and organizing visa applications, making sure that everything is correct and in order, that gives them more opportunity to actually focus on decision making.
Okay.
So this is what we do. We're present in 12 cities nationwide, which also brings it closer to the applicants, the visa application process itself. So it's no longer necessary for people to travel from, I don't know, Saqqar all the way to Islamabad or to Karachi just to file their applications, because we have an office in Saqqar. So instead of having to travel, spend money, spend time, it's also easier for them.
Okay, so basically you assist Pakistanis with their visa applications for like Western countries or any other country in the world.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Does it work the other way around as well? Like, do you assist, like, let's say, foreigners here with Pakistani visas, or it's only the other way?
So we're currently assisting 34 countries, including China, the UK, Turkey, Qatar, for instance. But it does not exactly work the other way around.
Okay.
In the sense that foreigners who are already here still have to go to the MFA and the MY or wherever their visa application is supposed to be filed at. However, we do have offices in the UK as well.
Okay.
So we actually do collect visa and passport applications in the UK for Pakistan.
Okay, all right, that's very interesting. And what do you do here specifically?
I'm the head of missions, relations and communications. So I'm basically the liaison officer between the diplomatic missions and Gerrys.
All right.
It's very interesting because I get to do a lot of things. I get to help create the most beneficial contract for both sides.
Okay.
I get to help missions with resolving any issues that they might have in terms of operations. I also get to help them with their sponsorships between Gerrys Visa. So we do collaborate with them. For instance, we sponsor their national days, different activities. We collaborate on CSR projects as well. So it's a lot of fun.
So what kind of visas do people mostly apply for? Is it like work visas or student visas? What are the most popular ones?
That's a difficult question to answer because it depends on the country where people intend to go. So for instance, for Turkey, I think it's mostly tourist visas.
Oh, okay.
For China, there are a lot of students who apply. But it's very important to emphasize that we only assist with the visa application process itself. We do not take a decision on whether the visa is approved or declined. And we cannot assist with finding a job, we cannot assist with scholarships, we cannot assist with enrolling to university as such. So we're strictly non-judgmental. We handle the non-judgmental part of the visa application process, but otherwise we're there to assist.
Yeah, so you mentioned Turkey, people want to go as tourists, China for studies, and is UK, like, that's another top destination, of course, that's for work usually?
Sure. So for the UK, I think a lot of Pakistanis have extended families there.
Right.
So I haven't met a Pakistani actually who doesn't have a family member or two in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a popular destination for studies, for work, for seeing family. So I think it's safe to say that we get all kinds of visa applications to the UK.
Yeah.
For Turkey, it's a very popular tourist destination. The bilateral relations between the two countries are excellent. It's two brotherly nations. They're very close to each other in terms of history, in terms of culture, and of course religion. So it's just natural that people are interested to going there and experiencing the culture.
Of course. Is it easy for Pakistanis to get a visa for Turkey?
As I said, it's not a hard thing. It's not a difficult thing to get a visa as long as you're transparent with the intention of your visit and as long as your documentation is in order.
Yeah.
But of course for Turkey as well, because the relations are so tight, the embassy and the consulate do their best in order to facilitate as many people as possible.
Yeah, great. What do you think is driving Pakistanis to go abroad for work and studies? Do you think that's like increasing because of the economy, or has it actually decreased? More people don't want to go anymore?
I would say a lot more people want to go abroad, and the number is increasing just because people know and want to know a lot more about the world around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't live in one place throughout your entire life. You naturally want to see and experience other cultures. People are very curious, and of course some segments are also looking for better work opportunities and studies.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go study abroad, you will be exposed to a lot more interesting things than just studying in the same country.
Yeah, that's great. But so like on a day-to-day basis, what is your regular day like here? Do you go to the embassies a lot for meetings, or what do you do basically?
It really depends on what day it is. No 2 days are the same really. Sometimes I have a lot of meetings with the mission. Sometimes I spend the whole day at the office working on communications, working on our social media, working on CSR, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is actually one of my favorite topics to work on.
Oh, okay.
It really makes me happy that the company feels so strongly about making people realize how important it is to help society and underprivileged segments of society, and to be more conscious about our environment as well. So we've started a few projects in the past few months. We also have a volunteer group by the name of Gerrys Super Squad, which consists of 242 of Gerrys Visa staff all over Pakistan.
Oh wow.
So we have done iftars for children at the SOS Children's Villages in Islamabad, Lahore and Karachi.
Great.
We've also recently started recycling with Saf Suthra Shahar's Papu Recycle initiative. Yeah, that has been quite an interesting journey. Initially, it was really hard to get the message across, but I think by today, everyone is more conscious about their waste management.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of that.
That's great.
Our latest project is Clothes Donation, which we have invited all our diplomatic partners to. So we're collecting clothes that will be donated to underprivileged people in rural areas. So we have invited all of our employees, all of our friends and family, and of course the diplomatic friends to come and bring in their unwanted clothes that someone else could benefit from, especially in light of the upcoming winter season.
Great. Sounds like an amazing project.
Yeah, it's been truly amazing.
Wow, great. So then just wanted to ask you, like, what was it that made you want to stay in Pakistan so long?
Well, first of all, I really like being here. I love the culture, I love the hospitality, I love the cuisine, I love the climate, and I also got married during my posting here.
Okay, wow, so you had an actual Pakistani wedding here?
Yes, I did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're here for life.
Well, yeah, you never know.
Great.
It's almost lunchtime. How about we go and have some lunch? Some delicious Pakistani homemade food.
I would love that. Great, let's do it. Time to take a short break. See you in a bit. Welcome back. I'm here with Agnes Pompos and we're just about to have some lunch soon, yeah?
Yeah, food is almost ready, so are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm starving. This is such a lovely kameez. Do you like to wear Pakistani clothes most of the time?
Yes, thank you. I do like to wear shalwar kameez. I don't wear it every day though, because I like to wear Western fashion office clothes to the office.
Yeah, but it suits you very well.
Thank you.
Great. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about when you got married here in Pakistan. Can you tell me how the wedding was? What was the experience? I mean, Pakistani weddings are obviously very different from Western weddings.
Yeah, sure. Our wedding wasn't the typical Pakistani wedding. We wanted to have elements from both a Pakistani wedding and a Hungarian wedding.
Okay.
I did have Pakistani dresses, and we did have mehendi, which was the party aspect of the wedding. Mm-hmm. And we also had a walima, which was our reception.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, we didn't want to drag it on for too long.
Yeah.
So it was short and sweet.
Great. And what kind of elements from Hungarian wedding traditions did you include?
My parents came for the wedding, and so she accompanied me throughout the whole thing. They were present, they were active throughout. And food. Food was a very important aspect in our wedding, and we had Hungarian dishes for both events, actually.
Oh, wow. So you obviously enjoy Pakistani food, right?
Yes, I do.
That's what you eat most of the time.
Yeah, that's correct.
What is Hungarian food like? I don't think a lot of people know that much about it.
Hungarian food is very meat-centered.
Is it?
There's a lot of poultry, there's a lot of beef, there's a lot of pork, and it's not as spicy as Pakistani foods.
Yeah.
There's a lot of paprika dough that we use. There are two types of paprika. There's the spicy one, and there's the milder version. The milder version has a very distinctive flavor.
Okay.
And it gives a very lovely color as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you find it anywhere here, or do you just have to cook yourself if you miss Hungarian food?
Yeah, I mean the ingredients, the spices aren't readily available.
Yeah.
So I tend to bring every ingredient with me from back home, and whenever I crave Hungarian tastes, I have to make it for myself.
What's your favorite Hungarian dish?
I really like langos. That's one of my favorites, although that's
Like the little flat bread things.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to naan in that it's very thick.
Okay.
But the dough is different. It resembles donut dough.
Oh.
It's also fried, but of course it's savory and not sweet like donuts.
Wow. Have you tried making them here ever?
We actually had it at our wedding, although I wasn't the one making it, but we find a chef who could follow the instructions exactly. Wow. So the langos, the guyash, the chicken paprikash, everything turned out very well.
That sounds lovely. But yeah, should we?
Yeah, let's start.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do we have here?
That is dal, this is keema, and we have some pulao.
Yay, yummy.
I hope you like them.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm a huge fan of Pakistani food.
Excellent.
Great. I'm a huge fan of biryani, I have to say.
Okay.
But I also like, dal is amazing. Everything, like there's nothing that I don't like, I have to say. Maybe brain masala, I don't like.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Thank you. I'll try some of the keema. This is also, by the way, really amazing.
Yeah, one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Everything is homemade, and Pakistani fresh homemade food, I think, is just the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you learned to make any Pakistani dishes yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been cooking Pakistani dishes for a long time.
Oh, really?
I was very independent from an early age. So I used to cook okra, I used to cook eggplants, I used to cook a lot of things Pakistani way. I really, truly enjoy.
Wow. And you still continue cooking?
I really like cooking, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but I just don't have the time these days.
Yeah,
So.
there's so much work, I'm sure, for you. This is lovely. But yeah, so obviously getting married to a Pakistani, that's quite a change in lifestyle for sure. how has that experience been, like, especially with the whole, like, different family values and stuff like that?
Family values aren't all that different. I mean, both in Europe and in Pakistan, we try to emphasize, at least in my part of Europe, we try to emphasize the importance of family and sticking together, helping each other. So that part wasn't hard at all. What's hard is really that women have different values in society.
Yeah.
Hungary is very feministic in the sense that we don't have any red tapes for women. Women are hired for high positions. Women are ministers.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want.
And how has, I mean, that's obviously one of the things I'm sure you've noticed while working in Pakistan also. How is the whole corporate culture different from the West? How would you say?
Well, my team is great, and I think it's very exceptional that people in someone's team are so open-minded. Everyone is very friendly, very welcoming, and we truly work like friends and like a family.
Yeah. So you haven't faced any issues there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Any other like things that you find particularly challenging about the culture, aside from like how it is for women?
Honestly, not really. I find it very easy to accept the values that people have here. So no other difficulties really.
And what about the whole like extended family? Like usually in Pakistani families, when you get married as a woman, you move in with your husband's extended family. Was that the case for you as well?
We did live with my husband's family for a bit, but shortly after we moved out just because it was easier for us to be closer to the city.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm sure your husband's family is very open-minded and liberal, then you don't face that kind of
they're great people.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned that your family came here when you got married. What was their reaction when you said like, okay, I'm gonna get married in Pakistan and I'm gonna stay here now?
Well, obviously I introduced my husband to my mom before we got married, so she had a chance to get to know him a bit. And I have to say, sometimes I think she loves him more than she loves me. So he's definitely a hit.
Yeah. Okay. So they didn't really have that many reservations.
No, not
about
at all.
it.
Not
Great.
at all.
That's amazing. But yeah. So after you got married, you guys obviously decided to stay here. Was that an easy decision to make? Because, like, I mean, you, for example, you really like it here, but a lot of Pakistanis always want to move abroad. Has that ever been like something that you discussed? Like maybe let's move back to the West, or you wanted to stay here?
Yeah, it's definitely on the table. Right now we're both busy with our own thing.
Yeah.
So as long as we're busy and we like it here, I don't see why we'd have to move or why we'd want to move.
Yeah, and I mean, what are the main things that would make you want to move? Is there anything? Or you're perfectly comfortable here?
I'm comfortable as long as I have great friends and I have a good job.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
That's great. But yeah, that must be like a pretty easy decision to make, especially when you live in Islamabad. I mean, life is so easy here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also like a very clean and calm city when you compare it maybe with like Lahore or Karachi that are very busy. You mentioned that you're really interested in recycling in particular.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you when you say it's very calm, not necessarily clean though.
Yeah, okay.
But people need to be educated about these issues. So I find it very, very important that we at Gerrys Visa embarked on this quest. We have a lot of people coming into our office on a daily basis. So this is a great opportunity to not only reach out to our employees, but as well as the applicants.
Yeah.
So we've started recycling recently. We have dedicated bins within our office. Currently we have 2 types of bins. We have a bin for paper because that's what we use the most. And there is another bin which is used to place any other recyclable items.
Okay.
So plastic, PET bottles, Tetra Paks, anything and everything that can be recycled.
Yeah. That's excellent. And what do you think needs to be done to like create more awareness about these issues in Pakistan? Like where is the information gap, let's say?
You have to just talk about it, really. Because so many people come to our office and we have the bins and we have little standees and stickers explaining how and why it's important. And the more you talk about it on the media, the more you talk about it on social media, the better it will reach people. Of course, it is very important to educate the kids as well, because they are great sources, right? So if your kid comes home one day and they say, oh, Mom, I want to recycle because it's good for me, it's good for you, it's good for the environment, and it's so easy to do, then why not do it?
Yeah, exactly.
So it should be part of education as well.
Absolutely. And I think now there's a little bit more awareness about climate change and things like that. Has this been like something you've been passionate for a long time, or it just happened here in Pakistan?
I've always been conscious. I wrote one of my theses on water issues.
Okay.
So conserving water has always been close to my heart. And of course, there are other things that we have to be environmentally conscious about. Preserving our resources, be it water, be it the trees, be it the soil.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like for a Westerner who moves to Pakistan, that's something like we are quite used to recycling and stuff like that, but it can be very challenging here. Have you found a way to recycle at home here as well?
Yes, I found Papu Recycles, which is the initiative of Saaf Suthra Shahar, about 2 years ago. So initially I started to recycle at home. And I still do, actually. And then when the opportunity came about that I can actually spread the word in my organization, I took the chance right away and introduced Papu Recycles at the office as well.
That's amazing. But yeah, this is really, really delicious. Do you like to go out a lot here in Islamabad, like for restaurants?
Yes, I do. I actually think we eat out way too much, although there's delicious food at home as well. It's just a way to pass time.
It is. And there's like so many nice new restaurants opening all the time.
Yeah, all the time, exactly.
What's your favorite cuisine aside from Pakistani?
I love Thai and Italian cuisine. I wish there were more Thai and Vietnamese restaurants in town. That would be amazing.
I think I haven't found a single Vietnamese restaurant
No,
here.
there isn't any,
Maybe somebody should start one.
Yes.
But yeah, so how would you compare like the restaurant scene in Islamabad, let's say now and then when you first came? How do you think it's changed?
It definitely has changed a lot in the past few years. I think it got more vibrant. Previously, everyone used to cook the same food. You had a menu that looked different, but the contents were really very similar. So there weren't too many options. It wasn't very exciting. But I feel like people put more emphasis on dining out these days. So a lot more options are available, and the food also got better in terms of quality.
Yeah, that's great. Are there a lot of other Hungarians living in Pakistan?
The diaspora, the Hungarian diaspora, is unfortunately very, very small. It consists mostly of embassy staff, MOL, the Hungarian oil and gas company staff, some expats from Hungary who work with UN and different organizations. But that's it. I think it's maybe 50 people at the most.
Yeah. And what about tourism? Do you think there are any Hungarians who come to Pakistan as tourists? Have you heard about anyone?
Yes, mountaineers, for instance. There was a team of mountaineers who came a few months ago to conquer the K2.
Oh, wow. That's so exciting. And do you think there's more interest also like just traveling in Pakistan, like backpackers, now that they've relaxed the visa regime a little bit?
I'm really hopeful that this will help, because previously it was very hard to get a visa.
Yeah.
a lot of tourists complained that you needed so much paperwork to come, so it wasn't even feasible anymore. But with the new visa regime, I'm sure it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot more emphasis by the Pakistani government to focus on making a more vibrant scene for tourists and more options, building the infrastructure. So I'm sure that people will start to come in from Hungary as well.
Yeah, that's great. Where would you recommend people from the West go visit in Pakistan? What would you say?
There are so many places, honestly. The north is amazing, the south is amazing, Bahawalpur, Multan, my favorite Katasraj, of course,
Yeah.
Lahore, and anywhere in the north. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
where
worth seeing.
where did you go in the north?
I haven't been to the real north, unfortunately. I went to Kagan Valley when my parents came, but unfortunately that has only been it.
Okay. And you must have a quite wide social circle also among Pakistanis because of your husband, right?
Somewhat wide, yes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we share the same friends, and we have shared the same friends since the first time we met. We were
Okay.
actually introduced by a mutual friend.
Oh.
At another mutual friend.
Okay. That's how it works often
Yes.
in Islamabad. So that's nice. So you have a lot of like expat friends and Pakistani friends.
Yeah,
then.
that's correct.
That's cool. So you've gotten to know Pakistanis very well by now.
Yes, I have. They're amazing.
Okay.
It's about time that we take my dog on a walk. Would you like joining us?
Okay, that
Let's
sounds
go.
great. Let's go. Time to take a short break. See you in a bit. Welcome back. I'm here with Agnes Pompos and we're ready to take our dog for a walk.
Let's go. Come on, Milka.
Yeah, so what's his name?
His name is Milka. I named him after the Swiss chocolate because he's brown, and that's not very common.
Oh, she's sorry.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
he.
a boy.
It's very excited.
Yeah.
Right, so you got him here in Pakistan, yeah?
Yeah, so he actually came from Karachi.
Oh.
You're so excited. You're
You can
so
get
excited.
huskies in Karachi. That's, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the ideal temperature for him, so I always wonder how he even made it here.
Yeah.
It's very hot and he's very furry, so
That seems to be all right.
yeah, he's fine in Islamabad for sure.
How old is he?
He's about 7 months now.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, that's why he's so jumpy, because
Yeah.
he's still a baby.
Very cute. How do you find it, like having a dog in Pakistan? Is it easy or challenging?
No, it's actually very, very challenging because you just don't have the same infrastructure that you have in Europe.
Yeah.
We had another dog before, and unfortunately he passed away.
Oh.
So, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping to have better luck with him this time. You just
Okay.
get so attached to dogs and pets in general. It's really hard.
Exactly. Did you have dogs before, like coming to Pakistan as well?
Back in my childhood, and then once I left for university, I didn't have any pets, so I was super excited to get a dog.
And this is nice, like it's easy in a farmhouse environment to have a dog, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like it out here. It's a bit further away from the city.
Exactly.
It's very green. There are a lot of chipmunks and cows and other animals.
Yeah,
So
it's like being in a countryside.
it is the countryside, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you like Islamabad otherwise? Like, do you find there's enough stuff here to do for you?
I mean, there's always something going on. It's a relatively small circle for diplomats and expats.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a very tight-knit group of friends. So there's always a party. There's always some brunch.
Exactly.
There are hikes. There's always something.
Yeah. And what do you like to do in your free time aside from walking your dog?
I love to watch movies with friends or just series. Just relax. Honestly, I don't get too much free time. So whatever I have, I like to utilize it, spend it with family and friends.
That's very nice. Very nice. Hey, doggy. Hi. Such a cutie. But that's true. It's an unusual color for a husky, right?
Yeah.
They're usually like gray, black.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Have you trained him? Does he know any tricks?
No tricks so far. He's very young still, so we're just trying to hammer in the basics.
Aww.
And he's super excited now, so he's not going to listen to anything at all.
All right. So how would you say your life here in Pakistan is different from the life you used to have back in Hungary?
I mean, the culture is very, very different.
Yeah.
So obviously there will be a lot of changes. There are good things and there are some not that good things, obviously. It's just so nice to not to have to sit in traffic an hour every day on the way to the office, which I used to do on a regular basis. But here in Islamabad, it's a small town. It's very nice and green, and I honestly do like the climate. The locals complain a lot because it's hot during the summer.
Exactly.
But I really love it.
I know, I have the same thing. Like, I'm from a very cold country and I just love it. Like, now we're in like fall season and it still feels like summer for me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just perfect.
Exactly.
Another thing that's very different is that you get a lot of household help, which we don't have in Europe at all.
Exactly.
So you can have someone to clean your house, you can have someone to drive around, you can have someone to cook for you on a daily basis. So
absolutely.
And in that sense, I think we're spoiled.
We are, and it's like, in that sense, it's a very comfortable life that Westerners especially, or more like well-to-do Pakistanis can get used to here. And I think sometimes that's one of the reasons why we like it here so much, because it's such an easy life, you know?
And people in general are very, very hospitable. In Hungary, I feel like people generally are more depressed on the everyday basis.
Really?
If you sit in the underground, you don't see people smiling at each other. Everyone is busy with their own thing. And here it's very different. People are open, people ask about each other's lives. So that's very positive.
That's an interesting observation. I've never really thought about it that way. I feel like also in the West, people have a more structured, more stressful like approach to life. Like here it's a little bit more like flexible. Everything doesn't always need to be planned ahead of time, and I find that kind of nice. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of work-life balance, I don't really see a difference.
Okay.
I do work a lot, maybe because I'm always very passionate about what I do. But yeah, other than that, I think the general values of people is also very different. They put more emphasis on family and human connections altogether.
Social networking is very important here. Absolutely.
It's amazing how this is a country of 220 million people and yet so many people know each other.
I know. It's like in Islamabad, you always meet someone like, oh, you know that person. Oh, okay. It's like such a tiny, tiny little city at the end of the day.
Yeah. But it's not just Islamabad, everywhere. So I often travel with my colleagues and we always find someone that they know. It's incredible.
Yeah.
They're from Islamabad and they find someone in Karachi or find someone in Lahore that they know or have friends in common with at least. Yeah.
Wow, that's so nice. But yeah, so where have you traveled in Pakistan?
Unfortunately, I haven't traveled as much as I would like to, ideally. I've been to Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi, of course, the three main cities. Last May, my parents came from Hungary to visit me.
Oh, really? That's so nice.
that was super fun.
Was it the first time they came, or?
No, it was their second time. But the first time they basically came for our wedding, so we were busy with the preparations. This time we had a bit more chance to travel around.
That's so nice.
Yeah, we went up north. We went to Katasraj, so that was a lot of fun.
Wow, that's so nice. And what would you say has been your favorite city or region in Pakistan that you visited?
Oh, that's really hard. I do really enjoy Lahore and Karachi. Both are very unique in their own way and very different from Islamabad as well.
Exactly.
Lahore has a lot of culture, and that's what I really love about it. I don't know if you know, there are 10 paintings painted by a Hungarian artist in the 1840s in the Lahore fort.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, how did that happen?
Well, back in the day, you'd think people didn't travel too much.
Yeah.
But this guy, Milka, this guy from the Austro-Hungarian Empire came all the way here and became the last Mughal emperor's, the last Sikh emperor's painter. So he painted scenes from the last Darbar.
That's fascinating. Do you know what the story behind that was? Like what made somebody from so far away travel specifically to here and become some emperor's painter? That sounds like such a crazy story.
Yes, well, Hungarians have been fascinated with the so-called Orient, the East, for a long time.
Yeah.
Japan, India, Pakistan, everything and anything in between has always fascinated the Hungarians, probably because of our origins. We root back to Asia.
Okay.
And so there have always been travelers who try to explore the area, try to look for ancestors, try to look for anything that can be used to trace back their identity.
I see. So, okay, so there's an interesting connection then between Hungary and this region. Wow, I had no idea. And that's not the only one, right? There's many other like explorers or historians, scientists who've come here.
Yeah. Another icon is Amrita Shergill, whose father was Indian, a Sikh, and whose mother is a Hungarian opera singer, or was a Hungarian opera singer, and she's actually one of the most famous modern painters from India. Of course, back in the day, in the 1920s, when she was painting and she was active, India and Pakistan did not exist.
Yeah.
So it's a bit sad that people in Pakistan don't know much about her. In fact, they don't know anything at all. Although she lived here in Lahore for quite a few years and was active here. So it's very interesting because her paintings depict her childhood in Hungary, but also scenes from Lahore. So it's quite something.
But yeah, so where are you from in Hungary actually?
I had lived in Budapest, the capital city, for 6 years before coming here to Pakistan.
Okay.
But originally I am from a small town which is about an hour away from the capital.
Oh, I see. Yeah, should we sit down here for a bit?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So what is the town called where you're from?
My hometown is Tatabánya.
Okay, what is it like there?
It's a sweet little town, not too big of a population. Originally it was a mining town, so the industry is centered around mining.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, the mines have been depleted, so that's not something that people do anymore in the region. But a lot of multinational companies came in.
I see.
So it's actually thriving because of the location. It's on the motorway, halfway between Budapest and Vienna. So it's a hub.
Nice. Great. Is there anything that you miss in particular about home?
I really miss being able to sit down at a restaurant outside and just enjoy my coffee, people watch without, being creepy.
Okay. So that's what you find you can't really do that easily here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have restaurants that have outside sitting areas, I guess mostly because of the climate.
And so what is Hungary actually famous for?
Classical music is something that we're very famous for. Ferenc Liszt is a world-renowned composer. We also have Béla Bartók, who is famous as well, but he's famous because he actually collected classical music, folk music, for instance. Other things that we're famous for are probably Balaton. Lake Balaton is one of the biggest lakes in Europe, especially Central Europe. And it used to be the meeting point for German families, for instance, who were divided by the wall in the socialist era.
Wow, that's fascinating. And also, like, you have a lot of thermal spas, right?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So Balaton and the same area, great spas, and they actually have healing properties.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's not just fun, it's also good for your health.
Excellent. So that's something you definitely can't find here, I guess.
Yeah.
but there are other things to do here in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, so it's time for our rapid fire round.
Oops.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, shalwar kameez or Western clothes?
Shalwar kameez during the weekend, Western clothes during the weekdays.
Okay. Lahore or Karachi?
Ooh, Lahore. It's more cultural.
All right. Cricket or football?
Football. I have no idea about cricket.
Me neither. Mountains or beach?
Beach. I'm a beachy person.
Are you a traveler or a bookworm?
Definitely a traveler.
Okay, cool. Chicken biryani or goulash?
Goulash.
Europe or Asia?
Both. Can I pick both?
Sure, just this time. Sponge cake or rasmalai?
Rasmalai.
Interesting.
Pakistani flavors.
Yeah. Fisherman soup or chicken corn soup?
Chicken corn soup.
Okay, so there you go for the Pakistani.
Yeah.
Indus or the Danube?
That's a weird question. I would pick Indus just because I wrote my thesis on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fascinating. Wow. Langos or paratha?
Langosh, any day.
Okay. Buddha or Pesht?
Pesht. I used to live there.
Okay. The best thing about Pakistan.
My husband.
Yay, that's it. Okay, so it's time for you to sign our visitor's book now.
Excellent. Let me just give Milka to someone.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we go, and you can write your name and your comments there.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Let's see what you wrote. Okay, let's see what you wrote. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Maija. Share the news to the world about how great this country is. All the best with your endeavors in Pakistan and beyond. Thank you so much. I had such a great time with you today. I hope you continue to enjoy your stay in Pakistan.
Thanks so much, Maija.
Thank you. That's it for today. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts at indus.news. Goodbye.